Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Verified Build channel. We are currently here in the cottage of Verified Build 001, and today I just wanted to spend a bit more time talking about the smart heating that has gone into both properties. So when it comes to the smart heating, the smart stats and the smart TRVs are throughout both the cottage and the house. I want to give a big shout out and a thank you to Wiser for providing those and sponsoring the build. So just before we get into the smart stats and the smart TRVs, I think that I'd just like to highlight that when it comes to smart heating and smart homes, smart electrics, all these things are only ever a good thing, because the more control that we have over our lights and our heating, the more efficient we can be when it comes to saving on energy bills, saving on fuel bills, because the price only ever keeps going up, and we want to just make sure that we're not wasting money on lights being on unnecessarily or heating being left on or anything like that. If you want to see an unboxing or how that initially got set up, there is another video on the channel, so you can check that out. But now that this is all in place and the TRVs are all set up on the RAS, I just want to show you how it all works. So the way the whole system functions is we've got our smart stat here, which is your typical thermostat, but it's wireless, and we can control the heating and temperature all just from tapping the plus and minus on this little stat here. So the system is fundamentally very simple. We start with the smart thermostat. Now, just this on its own would be able to control the heating and just turn the boiler on and off. But we've gone one level up on that one and added smart TRVs to all of the radiators throughout the property. Now, we can control our heating just with this alone, with the plus and minus, and turn the heating up and down. But what we can also do, thanks to the TRVs and all the RADs, is have individual room or zone control of the heating. So while we've got the smart stat, I'm just going to put that there, because the real magic happens when we open up the Wiser Home app. Now, in case anything looks different here, just as a little bit of information, is I'm actually on a setup account, because there's no Wi-Fi in the property at the moment, purely on a setup system connected to the boiler. But we can see all of the heating broken down into a room by room basis, and we then have granular control over that heating. Again, the great thing about zoning off these rooms is if you're in the living room like we are now, and you want to get that nice and toasty, but someone might be asleep in bed, or there's no one upstairs at all, you can choose just to heat this room. All of the other radiators get turned off, and the heating only focuses on heating a singular room. And then when that's up to temperature, the heating can cut off. So when it comes to individual zone control, if we wanted to, for example, boost the kitchen, we can select the kitchen, turn up the dial, and get that heating going up. So if we'll crank it up, it's actually quite a hot day today, so the kitchen is already at 22 degrees, so the boiler might not even kick in straight away just because it's so hot. But we can put it on, indicated by that little flame icon. And the great thing is as well, is you don't have to come back in and turn it off. You can hit the timer and choose how long you want to boost it for. There is a default, so even if we don't set that, you can see it's going to keep going until 4:30. But you can always just go back on by hitting the stopwatch and controlling just how long you want to boost that heating for. So put it for 30 minutes. There you go. We can see there's a timer on it. It's going to go till 2:30. And if we want, we can just turn that off. And remember, we can do that with every room in this property, so long as you have the TRVs in there. So that's why it's always good to kit out the entire house. Otherwise, you're only going to have limited control. Once you've got complete control in all the rooms, that's when you can really start getting clever with it. And then the next thing, once we've got all of our rooms separated out on the TRVs, we can get into some really smart stuff. We can go over to automations, and we can do things like geofencing. So even if the heating is scheduled to come on at, say, 5:30 when you're home from work, if on that day you don't happen to come home that time, maybe you go out for a meal straight after, then geofencing can let it know that, hey, you're not at home, and then it won't turn the heating on. So when it comes to automations, we can cancel all overrides, boost the whole heating system, and there's an away mode in here at the moment. You can create your own, so say you're having a party, there's certain automations or certain temperatures that you want to get this property into depending on the circumstance, you can add those here. We're not going to do that today, but another great feature is we're able to schedule the heating system. So like I say, you might want the living room to be warm when you come home from work on a winter's evening, and then you might want the bedrooms to warm up later at night before you go to bed, and you can do that all within the app. If I just show you what that looks like on the master bedroom. So here we've got different events set up. We're going to get heating up to 19 degrees between the hours of 6:30 and 8:30. So first thing in the morning when you're getting up, don't want it too cold outside. And then what you can see is we've got temperatures ranging between 15 to 20 degrees throughout the day at different times. And the great thing is you can copy and paste all of those schedules to different rooms if you want them all to just marry up at the same time, or you can go in individually and control upstairs, downstairs, and everything like that. And then finally, we've got the Insights tab. We can't look at this right now because we've just not got access to the internet, but this is an amazing way to look at all of your data, see just how you're heating your home and when, and optimizing your heating system based on that information. So there we have it, guys. That is the Wiser smart heating system. We've got the smart TRVs in this property. It really does give us more control over our heating system and over our energy consumption, making for a more sustainable future by not consuming energy when we don't need to. If you want to learn more about the Wiser smart heating systems and the TRVs, check out the links in the description. And thank you again to Wiser for sponsoring the Verified Build 001.